Hello and welcome to the Talk of the Terrace podcast. We're on episode number 2 and I'm joined as always, as I'm always going to be, by Harvey Hill. How's it going, Harvey?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. It's not been a bad few 7 days. But it's been all right. Had a good weekend?
Yeah, I've had a good weekend. Finished some night shifts and I'm off for 11 days now. What about yourself? When you back in?
Oh, I've got 3 days off now. I must admit, I booked Friday off. I'm in working Saturday, Sunday, but then that's it. I've got another day or two off then, so not too bad.
Solid.
Yes.
Well, it's Tuesday, the 9th of March. We're recording episode 2 of the Talk of the Terrace podcast, and we just want to say to everyone, thanks obviously for checking out the first episode, don't we, Harv?
Views were massive. Yeah, feedback was great as well. Obviously, you send it to a few of your mates who like to talk football, and you get honest feedback, don't you? That's what we want. So
that's it.
It was good. It was good.
So yeah, check us out on Twitter. We got Twitter now. It's the Twitter handle is Terrace Talk Pod. So the handle's at Terrace Talk Pod, I think. Go check that out. And obviously, this is going to be on my YouTube channel, Michael Gaming, with us as a video. But we're also going to be on Spotify and Apple Podcasts on that, hopefully. Obviously, it's Tuesday. This is coming out Wednesday. So those of you that are listening, the Champions League results are coming. We don't talk Champions League at the moment. But quick thing, Harvey, if you had to pick a winner for this year's Champions League, who are you going to pick?
I'm going City. They look good, don't they?
City,
I know they just lost to United, but they're in it, aren't they? They've got to be in it.
Yeah, I'll go for my boys, Chelsea. I think we can do it. But if not, Bayern Munich. So what are we talking about this week, Harv? What's the main topic of the podcast this week?
Main topic. I'm liking this main topic. Who do you think is the best Prem team ever?
The best Prem team of all time. So we're not taking into consideration Champions League winning team. So talking about like that Manchester United treble winning team, they were good, but they weren't Premier League good, you know.
I mean, they might get an honourable mention. They might get a mention, but we're talking teams that were incredible.
Yeah, we're talking like Premier League worthy, just the best Premier League team of all time. We both picked our own team, obviously, who we think is the greatest Premier League team of all time, and we're going to talk about some stats and see what you guys think. So you can tell us who they think is the greatest team of all time.
We want to hear from you.
I'll start off with one of the honourable mentions with that Manchester United 2007-2008 team. Obviously, they won the Premier League and the Champions League, beating my team Chelsea in the final of the Champions League, where captain, leader, legend John Terry slipped. So that was a bit annoying. But you look at their record, and it was pretty. Yeah, I was tearful. It was pretty good season from 27 wins, 6 draws, 5 losses, with a goal difference of 80 goals for and 22 goals against, giving them a 58 plus goal difference, which is decent. But you had that trio up top of Rooney, Ronaldo and Tevez, who they actually contributed to 71.8% of all of Manchester United's goals across all competitions that season, which is pretty insane.
Best attacking trio
in Premier League history.
Any in world football, best attacking trio?
I think in Premier League history maybe, but world football it's got to be Messi, Suarez, Neymar, right? That season they all had together. Second season where they got absolutely tons of goals between them.
They were decent. Yeah, they were good.
Yeah, that was insane. But you know what? It was a solid team. Solid team, that Manchester United team. Who you got as some honourable mentions and have?
I've actually got United's treble winning team as an honourable mention. I mean, I know we said it's the Premier League. They won the league by 1 point. Arsenal that season only conceded 17 goals, which gives them second all time for least goals conceded. But what does confuse me about that team was obviously very good, very, very good.
Yeah.
5th place had -7 goal difference.
Yeah, it wasn't a great season, was it?
It can't be. It can't. No, it does seem a bit weird, but the team was quality. The team was unreal. I know people talk a lot about Keane a leader, as whatever, if you want to see how good he was as a footballer, and I know this is in the Champions League, but he played against Juventus, that second leg, he dragged United to the final, just to see how good a footballer he was. Watch that game. Outstanding. Brilliant.
Very, very underrated as a footballer, I think, by people of our generation, right? That didn't get to watch him week in, week out,
Yeah, I think so. But yeah, I know his leadership was obviously one of his main qualities, and he'd run through a brick wall for the team, wouldn't he? But as an actual footballer, I think he was very underrated. Very, very underrated. But yeah, the players he played against in that Juventus team as well, they were sort of top of Italian football, only being beaten by some of the other best footballers going at that
AC
point.
Milan, AC Milan around that time as well were pretty insane, weren't they? Italian football around the early 2000s, late 90s.
Yeah, it was incredible, wasn't it? It was very good. Yeah, so that's an honourable mention, to be honest. They were good. They ended up actually knocking out Inter and Juventus on the way to beating Munich in that final. And just to also mention, in their group, now we talk about groups of death, Munich came top of that group, United came second, Barca didn't even make it out.
Did they not?
Barca came third. That is a group of death.
That is a group of death.
And you think they did the treble. So I know we're talking about Prem teams here, but do you think you're coming up against that every other Tuesday, Wednesday night, as well as trying to win a league? That is
some doing.
Mentally got to be tiring, hasn't it? Thinking I'm coming up against some great Prem player teams.
Yeah.
But that's my honourable mention. I think that was a very good team.
Couple more honourable mentions. We've got to mention that Blackburn team that won the league in the 90s, and that Leicester team that somehow won the league. That was insane. Yeah. And of course, to all the Liverpool fans listening, yes, Liverpool won the league last season, 1920, the first time you've ever won the Premier League. Yes. Well done. But I think the final honourable mentions have got to be that Manchester City team of 17-18, the Centurions they were called. You know, obviously when they first won the league, that amazing goal at the end where Aguero scored, you know, that moment against QPR, that was an amazing scene on Soccer Saturday and all that when you had Jeff and the boys. That was insane. But that Man City team in 2017-18, here's some stats. You know, they got 100 points, the only team to do so, winning 32 of 38 games, drawing 4, losing 2. You know, the records they hold is insane. But like, they got 106 goals for 27 against, taking their goal difference to 79, plus 79 goal difference. But like, some of the players he had in that team, with KDB getting 16 assists, Aguero with 21 goals, you know, I think that was probably one of his best seasons where he was fit throughout most of it. Edison was their new signing that really kicked on, you know, got rid of Claudio Bravo out the starting lineup and brought in Edison, like completely changed the way they played football from the back.
It's not a bad backup to have, is it?
It's not bad, but Fernandinho managed to get 34 games and he was incredible. But for me, one of my favourite players is Raheem Sterling, and 18 goals, 11 assists in the Premier League is underrated from a player like him. It's absolutely solid. I think he's a world-class player, and I think he's England's best player, to be honest, him and Harry Kane. So let's hear who you have chosen for your greatest Premier League team of all time. Who are you saying, Half?
I'm hoping the shirt gives it away. I know it's not that year, but I honestly think the Invincibles, if you're setting the standard for winning the league, you don't want to lose a game. I don't think there's you can score, you can have 100 points, you can do that, but there's a way to improve on that season for me, and that's to go unbeaten. Arsenal did that. You could probably say that team underachieved, that Arsenal Invincibles underachieved. They should have won a hell of a lot more trophies in a 3-year period around that time. I think they were a couple of years later pretty unlucky to not win a Champions League. They came up against a decent Barca team, but that Invincible side to go unbeaten is one hell of a stat. And just to prove how hard it is, in the top 5 leagues, we've seen 3 teams do a treble in the last 20 years: United, Inter, and Barca. No one's gone unbeaten. And I think that just proves how hard it is. Even in any of the top 5 leagues, PSG, people say, Farmers League, they still lose Barca's team, Pep's Barca team, incredible, absolutely incredible. Couldn't go unbeaten
One of the
in their
greatest
league.
teams of all time, right? Pep's Barca.
Got to be up there, got to be in the conversation. Still couldn't go unbeaten.
No, you got to go to leagues like the Scottish Premier League, right? And shout out quickly to Steven Gerrard, who has managed to win the Scottish Premier League, taken the title off Celtic, who are going for a 10th one. They're going unbeaten at the moment, so they're looking to go unbeaten, I think, for the second time themselves in the Scottish Premier League. So, yeah, shout out to Steven Gerrard. Well done for winning the Scottish Premier League with Rangers.
Yeah. So we've got 38 games played, obviously, 26 won, 12 draws, and 0 losses. Now, the 12 draws, when you're going unbeaten and you need to find a way of not losing, you'd settle for a draw. Most of them came away from home as well. So you're going to go to teams that are going to sit back, probably play a little bit more defensive on the counter, knowing that the attacking threat, by the way, Reyes was just coming good. Dennis Bergkamp, now I'm throwing this out there, one of the top 3 best Dutch players ever. I think he's that good. Unbelievable.
There's been some incredible Dutch players, Johan Cruyff.
Cruyff and Cruyff and Van Basten are probably the only other 2. And
You're
I think he's in that.
Ruud Gullit. Ruud Gullit's top quality, man.
Yeah, he's quality, but Dennis Bergkamp was, some of the goals he scored, he'd chip a keeper on the line. I can't ever say that I've seen anyone else ever do that. And he did it multiple times. His touch was, I think you could throw a ball 2 lengths of the football pitch at about 300 mile an hour and he'd take it down like it was nothing. His touch was incredible. Any part of his body as well. I mean, you think about the Argentina goal he scored in the World Cup, that ball's come from one edge of the box, pretty much in between the edge of the box and in their half to the corner of Argentina's box. He's brought it down. The touch was phenomenal. And it was that good that he could take a second touch before the defender gets near him. And then he slotted it in the outside of the boot. I think that was incredible. You obviously got Wiltord, probably getting on a bit, but still contributing. He only bagged 3 goals. Bergkamp scored 4, but anyway, 21 appearances. But he was there, link-up play between midfield and attack. Henry, obviously, I think we all know, he's arguably the greatest striker the Prem's ever seen.
Probably he's one of the greatest strikers of all time, right?
Yeah, I'd say so. He's won everything there is to win. 37 appearances, 30 goals. Some people will be going, he's only scored 30 goals. But I think we're in that era now with Ronaldo and Messi score 40, 50.
But is that just in the Prem?
That was 30 goals in the Prem.
Yeah, so not many people have beaten that. I think maybe Harry Kane and Mo Salah.
Possibly.
Are the only 2 people that have got 30 goals or more. Maybe Alan Shearer as well in the season.
Yeah, but I think
memory serves me
right. When you go back to that point in the Premier League, you didn't have wingers that played as forwards. The pressing game wasn't quite the same, and it wasn't the everyone's got a decent touch. It was you've got a 6'5" big burly defender that was half decent on the ball.
That's it.
Kicking lumps out of you.
Thierry Henry was playing against a lot better quality centre-backs than the likes of Harry and Kane and Mo Salah do now. Van Dijk's solid, Van Dijk's solid, but you come up against Manchester United now. Maguire, Lindelof, they ain't work.
It's not scary, is it? It's not scary.
They couldn't lace up the boots of the likes of Vidic and Ferdinand, could they? You know what I mean? Like
no. But even just before that time, when you had Jaap Stam, and the likes of even Dennis Irwin, I know he played at left back, but he was decent. He could play. Back then 30 goals was impressive.
SIE.
Yes, yeah. And you had some of the best centre backs coming through as well at that time as well. You're a bit younger.
John Terry.
Very good. Quite impressive. Now, bearing in mind, for a wide man, this isn't normally nowadays. This is probably standard, but back then this is quite exceptional. Robert Pires, 14 goals and 7 assists. Now, if someone was contributing that to a team in the top 6, I think people would be pretty impressed, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
In this day and age, bearing in mind that most people are playing a right winger, left winger, not a right mid, left mid, which is Pires probably pushed slightly forward, but I think that's quite an impressive stat. And just to show the depth and quality of this team, Fabregas didn't even play in this Invincibles team. He was there, didn't even play. You've got Vieira.
He was very young,
Pires.
though. He was very young.
Yeah, he would have only been 17, 18, I think, but highly rated at the time.
Yeah.
Very well spoken
Obviously
about.
Coming through Barca's academy, so...
Yes, yeah. But you're talking Vieira, Gilberto, both won a World Cup. Robert Pires, World Cup, Euros. Freddie Ljungberg was outstanding on the other wing. Probably doesn't get as much credit as he deserves. And then just some old heads in there, and a big mention, Ray Parlour. Ray Parlour. I mean, he was the Romford Pele. He just sort of kept staying about, didn't he? I think he was probably quite underrated. Really, he probably doesn't get spoken about because you don't stay in a team like that if you're not any good. No. And he was there for a long time. So Wenger must have seen something in him. Edu, and then we go to the back line, and I must admit, Ashley Cole, we've discussed this, greatest ever left
first
back,
episode.
But then some of the names here, you've got Clichy as a backup. He's got 7 games in there. He had a great career, really, hasn't he? He's won.
Went on to Man City, obviously, won a couple of titles, I believe.
But then you've got the old head Martin Keown. You got Lauren at right back. I think he was quite underrated. He could get up and down. And then Big Solon, Colo. So it's not bad. You've got Colo. Yeah, I think that it's the team itself was exceptional, and for me, people say Pep Guardiola's team when it was 10-yard passes, it was like a mini rondo all over the field at Barca, and it was that good. I think that this team for me found the perfect blend of passing football, going forward, what we probably call tiki-taka now. It wasn't quite that, but I think they kept the ball well and went forward with pace. Obviously, going forward there, they are rapid, technically brilliant. And even Carnu was on the bench as well. Just a big mention there. Carnu, he's had a decent career. But yeah, I think that was sensational. They scored 73 goals. Only allowed 26, which is still quite good. There were some really quality strikers around.
Not bad.
It's not bad. No, it's not. But you think of the quality of strikers that were around then as well. That's not bad going. The goal difference was only 47. But mate, if you're going to win the league unbeaten, it doesn't really matter if you win 1-0, does it? Every game and draw the odd one. I'd take it, wouldn't you?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
they obviously got a golden Premier League trophy for it as well.
Yeah, the only team to have one. Just one little stat here, which I think you might like. Pre-season was an absolute shocker.
Was it?
I know Arsene Wenger said the season before, this team can go unbeaten, and everyone laughed, and probably rightly so. You don't come out and say that. It might get said in the changing room saying, boys, we're quality, we can do this. But you don't hear that come out in the media.
No.
But just to show how they turned it around, they lost to Peterborough 1-0 in first pre-season game, and then went to Barnet and drew 0-0. So it probably wasn't looking that good, to be honest. But yeah, turned it around, obviously, and didn't lose a game. People say City's team and whoever's team, whatever, but you can improve on that and not lose. So in my eyes, the only way you can improve on this is having less draws and more wins. But mate, I think you're really clasping at straws, aren't you? Because you haven't lost a game. And was it 2-2 at Spurs last game of the season? Was that?
I'm not sure, but either way.
I think that might have clinched the title, but yeah, that
Solid.
was yeah, that's the best season, the best team I think I've ever seen in the Premier. That have
Fair
won
enough.
it. Can't get much better than not losing in my eyes, but I'm sure you'll have another team in mind.
Obviously. Well, for those of you watching, listening, you probably thought, why has no one mentioned any Chelsea team? That's because I'm gonna. Chelsea 2004, 2005. Ranieri's just been acquitted of his job. He's just been sacked. He's just gone. Roman Abramovich is like, we need someone in. So he's looked around. He's seen Porto have just won the Champions League. That's a bit out of their depth, winning the Champions League, as a Portuguese team. But there's this new manager on the block, and his name's Jose Mourinho. And
he can run the touchline as well, can't
he? He loves running down the touchline. Little did people know he would be one of the greatest managers of all time. And that 2004 Chelsea team that I'm going to talk about was, in my eyes, the greatest team in Premier League history. Yes, there's a little bit of bias there. I'm a Chelsea fan, but when you look at their stats, and you talk about the team that they had, it was incredible. Let's just talk about their record. They got 29 wins, more than Arsenal's invincible. 8 draws, less than Arsenal's invincible. They lost one game. One game is what they lost, and it was 1-0. They lost 1-0 away. Who did they lose to? Any guesses in the Premier League?
Was it Man United?
It was Manchester City. Before they had the money, before they were a team, Man
City. So you're talking like Antoine
Sibierski.
Are you talking like Sibierski, Bergkamp, Richard Dunn, and people like that?
We're talking about Richard Dunn and people like that, yeah. They lost 1-0 to that Man City team. If that hadn't happened and Chelsea had drawn or won that game, you wouldn't be talking about Arsenal. You'd be talking about Chelsea 100% because they were a better team than that Arsenal team. That's what I'm saying. But 72 goals for, 15 goals against, that's a record. Conceding 15 goals in a whole season is incredible.
That's
57 plus 57 goal difference, 95 points. A team didn't come close to them points for several seasons, you know what I mean? It's only just been beaten. I think the record's only just been beaten the past 4 seasons ago by Man City. That's Centurion's team, but least goals conceded is absolutely incredible. 15 goals. 6 at home, 9 away
There were some strikers about as well. I know we've mentioned it before, but we're talking prime.
We're talking
top
Henry.
Strikers.
We're talking Thierry Henry, someone who apparently is one of the greatest of all time.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
He is. Yeah,
and I agree.
Who else was about then? United.
Ruud van Nistelrooy. Ruud van Nistelrooy and people like that. There was some absolutely incredible players. Was Michael Owen still at? He probably left Liverpool at this point, 04-05, but you're talking some big strikers. We can probably find that out. We should have maybe checked that out, but you know what I mean? To concede 15 goals in 38 games in the league, when you've got so many new signings, a new manager as well, so the whole team completely changed.
That was one hell of a spine, though. One hell of a spine of a team.
We'll talk about the spine. We're looking at Petr Cech's just been brought in as goalkeeper, so that's one.
Best goalkeeper in the Prem, Mike. Best goalkeeper the Prem's ever seen.
Well, he's got the most clean sheets in Premier League history, most Golden Gloves in Premier League history. I don't see any argument for it, really. William Gallas predominantly played right back. Still up with a 4-3-3 most of the season. So it was like checking goal. William Gallas, right back, someone who had been at Chelsea prior. Ricky Carvalho came with Mourinho from FC Porto. Paulo Ferreira came with Jose Mourinho from Porto. So 2 new players in the back 4, 3 new players in the back line, including Cech, And then obviously you got John Terry, the captain, leader, legend at the back, leading Chelsea to their first top flight title in 50 years. It was exactly 50 years. 1955 was the last time we won it.
Best centre-back partnership you've seen at Chelsea?
Definitely the greatest centre-back partnership at Chelsea. Premier League, we'll have a discussion about that maybe another time. We'll build our greatest all-time Premier League team one day. But in midfield, you've got the likes of Makelele, who joined the season before. There's no one like Makelele in that holding role. That role's named after him. If you've got a role named after you, the Makelele role, then you've done something right. So
that's impressive.
And then in midfield, you got Thiago Mendes joined as well from Benfica, I think it was, but he joined that season with Mourinho. And then obviously you've got the greatest goal scorer midfielder of all time in Super Frankie Lampard. Absolutely incredible. Then up top, you've got 2 new signings. You've got Damien Duff is already at the club. You know, we play a 4-3-3, so Damien Duff was predominantly on the left wing, switching with Joey Cole, 2 solid players. But then 2 new signings in Didier Drogba down the middle, one of the greatest players to ever put on a Chelsea shirt.
He was brilliant, wasn't it?
The biggest of big game players, you know, won the Champions League for Chelsea. Guy's a hero. And on the other side, right winger, you talk about your Pires and your Lundberg, how they were midfielders running down the right and left. This man probably defined cutting inside on his foot to shoot, and that's Iron Robin joined Chelsea that season.
Yeah,
you know, cutting in from that right hand side, and he had no right foot. Everyone knew it, but defenders couldn't stop it. You know, he came up against Ashley Cole that season.
Good he was.
Probably gave Ashley Cole a good run for his money. You know, cutting inside on his left foot and whipping it in. You know, other players I've already mentioned, Joey Cole. You've got Wayne Bridge, who was a solid left back, but Paulo Ferreira came in and kept him out of the team. Celestine Babiaro as well. Idiger Johnson was at the club.
Classic old school.
I loved Babiaro. Idiger Johnson was an absolute legend. Scotty Parker was there. But the key men have got to be that spine of Cech, Terry, Lampard, Drogba. You know, them 4 down the middle. They were at Chelsea for the next 10 years between together. Absolutely incredible. They won everything with Chelsea. Everything you can think to win. They won the Premier League, FA Cup numerous times, Carling Cup or the Carabao Cup, or the EFL Cup, whatever it's called. Champions League. We were even that good after we won the Champions League. We didn't want to win it again. We dropped out of the group stages, won the Europa League. Only team in Champions League history to win it, drop to the Europa League and win that back to back. We're just the best, greatest.
Yeah, that's not a bad stat.
Not sure that's how it's done, but some of the other stats, you know, we're talking about some of the records they still hold. They hold the record for the most consecutive wins in a row in the Premier League from the start of the season. So from the first game of the season, they won 9 games in a row without being beaten. And that's pretty incredible for a team which has 6-7 new players in the side lineup and a brand new manager.
Starting 11's brand new, isn't it? By the way, I think you've undersold Joe Cole. You've only given him a little mate. Joe Cole was quality.
Joe Cole was quality. Absolutely incredible. But he didn't play that many games compared to the likes of Damien Duff. You know, Damien Duff and Robin started the majority of games, and Damien Duff was a bit underrated himself.
Robin was decent. His quality is world class, but it does take something to play against some top quality defenders who know exactly what you're going to do but can't stop you. And I think there's probably only a few players that I can think of off the top of my head where I could say Henry had that finish where he moves slightly to the left of the ball. It's a side foot into the far corner,
opening up his body
all the time. All the time. You couldn't stop it. Arjen Robin was the same for me, cutting in on that left foot. It was just which corner was you going to see the ball hit, wasn't it?
That's it. You know what's coming. It doesn't matter as a defender. You know what's coming. You can't stop it. Can't stop it. But it was a pretty solid season for Chelsea, and that started the longest undefeated home streak in Premier League history that season.
Liverpool got fairly well. They didn't get close, but they got.
I don't know.
How many games away? They got a few games away from that, didn't they?
I think so. They could have beaten it. I'm not sure. I'll have to double check. But from that first game of the season when Jose Mourinho took charge, Chelsea went 86 games at home without losing.
Yeah, that's impressive.
2004 ended in 2008. But just talking about Frank Lampard there, that was probably one of the best seasons he's ever had. He got 13 goals and 16 assists.
He was your top goal scorer, wasn't he? Top goal scorer that year?
Top goal scorer of all time. He was our top goal scorer that year as well.
Season,
Drogba got 10. Ida got 12, so it wasn't bad. Everyone chipped in that Chelsea team, you know. It was incredible. Absolutely insane. And that's why they are my greatest Premier League team of all time. Like I said, nostalgia, bias, whatever it is, definitely added towards it. But I don't think people can disagree with.
They're definitely worth a mention. Absolutely. Yeah.
I don't think people can disagree with some of the teams that we've mentioned, you know.
No, can you think of one that maybe we haven't talked about, hasn't given a bigger mention that we've missed off that list? We're talking the Invincibles, we're talking treble winning, we're talking Centurion.
Treble winners, the double winners as well of 07-08 Man United. I think those are the top 5. Anyone I think those top 5 are the best Premier League
Yeah,
teams of all time.
Yeah, I can't think of many others that are getting. They've probably they might have had better squads, but some of the players that we've mentioned there, some of the best we've ever seen.
I think if you take the starting 11 from them 5 teams and the starting 11 from every Premier League team that's ever won the title, those 5 will come top 5. Those 5 will be fighting for them top 4. I don't think that Liverpool team beats them top 5 to Champions League football,
No, we're talking. I mean, you really like Salah.
Salah's good. Salah is good. Salah is really criminally underrated by the British public, but he isn't.
Sadio Mane.
It's the whole team. Solid. Firmino, not. I think Firmino had a good season, bit overrated to me by a lot of people. I think he's good, but
he's not, mate.
He's not Henry, is he? He's not Drogba.
He's not Henry. He's not Drogba.
He's not Rooney.
Is he even York or Cole? He's not even getting in front of them in my eye. They were quality.
Well, exactly. He wouldn't get in that Chelsea squad of 0405 because you ain't dislodging Idiger Johnson from the bench.
No, that's true. He did like it there, didn't he?
So there we go. You've got the Arsenal Invincibles, and I've got the team the season after Chelsea. And this was just before we managed to get Cashley Cole. Managed to take him away with some money. We won that league, and he was like, "Oh, wait a minute, these lot could do something." I think we bought him at the end of that season, and then because obviously we won the title back to back.
Did he go on a free?
I don't know, but he came for the money.
Did he spend some money? I know. Well, he went for the
wages wise, but we won the title the next season as well, which was incredible, which is something not many teams do. But
that's who we've chosen. Go back to back, don't they?
Those of you that are watching on YouTube and listening on your podcast choice, tweet us, comment.
We'll get some abuse here, I think.
Yeah, tell us who you think is the greatest Premier League team of all time. Next up, though, we are going into the score predictor. And this last week, it was pretty good for me because I managed to clinch it half. I got a total of 9 points. I got a total of 9 points to your 8.
Yeah,
came down to the last 2 games.
When it first started, I was thinking, I've wiped him in, I've wiped him out, and over the course of the weekend, you just sort of came back. There was a few questionable choices from me, and I don't know why, but I honestly thought West Brom were going to score.
Well, like I said in that last podcast, that West Brom Newcastle game is going to be 0-0. It's going to be the most boring game of the weekend, and it was. I just couldn't see anyone scoring.
Big Sam let me down.
So currently 9-8 to me. The big one that was something that we disagreed on. I put Chelsea to win 2-1. You put Everton to win 2-1. Ended 2-0. Last night, incredible result for Chelsea. Thomas Tuchel's team flying high. 12 games he's been manager of, unbeaten. Conceded 2 goals, I think, which is insane. But
signing of the season.
Week, signing of the season.
Your manager?
What? One of.
Your manager. One of. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, but let's talk about this upcoming game week. So we're starting tomorrow. We've got a game tomorrow or today when this gets uploaded. We're recording this on Tuesday, but when this gets uploaded, it will be Wednesday. We've got Man City at home to Southampton. Now I've gone 4-0 half. What you said, 4-0 to Man City, that is. Don't think it'll be quite 9-0, even though Pep Guardiola in an interview yesterday, I don't know if you heard it, they spoke about the Man U team beating them 9-0 in Leicester, and Pep Guardiola laughed it off and said, well, we'll beat them 18-0. I don't know if you've seen that, but
I don't know. I don't think I have seen that, to be honest. But do you know what? Funny. I would not be surprised. I
just
really
lost to Man U, so they're going to be annoyed.
It's either going to be a bad run of form for probably 2 games for them, innit? Bad run of form, 2 games, but it's either going to be made worse or Southampton are in for a hiding, big time.
So what are you going with?
I'm going to go with. I've gone with City 3-0. 3-0, yeah. But honestly, it could be 6.
I
7.
agree.
It could be. Really could be. I've gone 3-0. You say you went 4.
4-0 to Man City. 4-0 home victory for Manchester City.
Yeah.
Raheem Sterling hat-trick. You heard it here first.
Okay. He is that good.
Okay.
Next game, what have you got?
Newcastle at home to Villa. I've got a 2-1 away win to Aston Villa. Hopefully Jack Grealish is back. I'm not sure, but I'm going 2-1 away win. What are you saying?
I don't know whether he is back, and that's the reason why I've said 1-1.
1-1.
I think Newcastle need a couple of wins. They need to be fighting and scrapping, don't they, at this stage, just to make it an easy end of the season, won't they? They'll all be on the beach with 5 games
Fulham beating Liverpool 1-0 has absolutely thrown more smoke into the fire, whatever the saying is, I don't know, but thrown more.
It's bad, isn't it? It's bad. Yeah.
They've thrown more stuff into that relegation battle. But next up, we've got my team, Chelsea. I'm going straight through it. Leeds at home to Chelsea. I'm going for a 4-1 away win to Chelsea. I think Leeds attack a lot, but I think our defence are that good. Well, Timo's just going to counter-attack, and he's going to get goals. Timo's going to at least get 2, so 4-1 Chelsea.
When you said, I was thinking, I wonder if he's gone like 4-4 or 4-3 or 3-4. Because we said it before, didn't we? Leeds either concede a hell of a lot or score. And this is my reason for this. I've gone 3-2 Chelsea.
Ooh,
I know they haven't conceded, but we probably didn't think that Leeds were going to be that attack dominated, do they, at the start of the season? They've just bagged loads of goals or conceded loads. But yeah, that's what I've gone with. Palace West Brom. I mean, I don't want to say that Big Sam will pull this out of the bag after last week, but I've gone with 2-1 Palace this week. I think if you're not beating Newcastle or you're beating Palace, that's how I'm looking at it.
Well, Wolf's back in the team now, so I've gone for an easy 2-0 win to Crystal Palace. I think I'll be comfortable 2-0 win. Next up, we've got Everton and Burnley. Everton just coming off a 2-0 loss to Chelsea. You know, what are you saying? Burnley struggling a bit.
Did you see the goal? Did you see it?
Which goal?
Burnley's goal. Did you see it?
I did not.
Oh God! For anyone who hasn't watched it, I'll go and watch it. Granit Xhaka, what are you doing?
I've heard about it. I'll watch it after this.
I wouldn't have even said it's Sunday League. It's something you see at like under 8s football. And really? I mean, I've been on a sideline for that, and I can tell you now, I've probably seen better football at under 8s football. I don't know what he's doing. He's taken a touch. He's even looked where he needs to play the ball, and there's 3 players open, and instead of, because it's his right foot, he's taken a touch rather than just whipped it round across his body. He's played a 1-2. He should have just gone bang, and it should have gone straight across. He's taken a touch, and Chris Wood, I mean, he's not exactly small. So trying to play the ball around Chris Wood, it's just hit him and it's gone in. And
yeah, I've seen honestly, that. Yeah, terrible.
I don't know what's happened there, but I still think Everton, they're dangerous. They've got good attacking players. 3-1, I've gone for
3-1 Everton.
Yeah.
Next up, we got our second Manchester City game. It's an away visit.
Did you give us the Everton score? Sorry.
I said 2-0 Everton. Said 2-0 Everton. I think easy 2-0 win to Everton against Burnley. But Fulham at home to Manchester City. I have gone for the same score as I did against Southampton. I think it's going to be back-to-back 4-0 for Man City. I think they'll beat Southampton 4-0, go away to Fulham, beat them 4-0. I mean, Fulham have looked good defensively, but I just think Man City are going to be on a rampage now. And Southampton and Fulham are unlucky that they're the next teams they're coming up against.
poor old them. Again, I went for my same score, 3-0. I mean, I'd be interested to see if any of us are right with our first score against Southampton, if it's 3 or 4-0 and they do the same again at the weekend, how many teams have gone consecutive 3 or 4-0 wins in a row, and who are they playing next? Because, I mean, that'd probably be a record you might want to have, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
3, 4, 5, 6 games with 4-0s in a row. That would be very impressive to see. Southampton Brighton.
Well, coming off the back of that 4-0 loss that I predicted for Southampton against Man City, coming up against a Brighton team that are on expected goals and expected points, I think they should be 6th or 7th in the league because they've been insane. They just can't finish. But I've got them to win this game. I've gone for a 2-1 away win. 2 Graham Potter's men, Brighton, coming away with the victory against Southampton, who are just looking lackluster at the moment, and I can't see it changing for much. What about your prediction, Half?
I've gone 1-0 Brighton.
1-0 away.
I've gone 1-0. They looked really good against a half depleted Leicester team in the first half for the weekend.
That's how they look every game, don't they?
Yeah, the front. By the way, Adam Lallana coming in, and him and Neil Maupay looked really good, and Lallana's finish was really cool. Sent the keeper the wrong way, which is pretty hard to do nowadays. It was very impressive. The link-up play looked really good. Looked a handful. Leicester, Sheffield United. Now, I feel sorry for Chris Wilder. I think he's done quite a good job, really.
Second season syndrome, though. Second season syndrome.
Yeah, that is true. But, I mean, to take the team, when he took over, they were in League One, weren't they? They were bang average. Even in League One, they didn't look great. But yeah, more misery for him. I've gone 2-0 Leicester. I can't see him scoring. Chelsea lonely at the weekend, giving away what looked like a ridiculous penalty.
Don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I didn't think you would. Yeah, he chopped him down, didn't he? It was pretty bad.
Yeah,
but
it was.
More misery for him.
I've gone the same. Yeah. I've got 2-0 home win to Leicester as well. I think they're not scoring as much as they have been doing, and I think Maddison's still out. So creatively, they're not incredible, but they're getting some injuries at the moment. I've gone for a 2-0 home win as well. Yeah, solid player. And then next up, we've got probably the game of the week. To be fair, we've got that North London derby. We've got Arsenal at home to Tottenham. This could be big, and I've gone. I hate them, but I've gone for a 2-1 Tottenham win. 2-1 away Tottenham win.
I presume your goal scorers there have got to be Kane and Son, right? Maybe
Bale's coming in. Bale. That front four at the moment, Bale, Kane, Son, and Lucas Moura are just looking beautiful. If Mourinho can get that into his mind, if he can start thinking more attacking and think, wait a minute, my defence ain't great. You know, you look at that defence and they are pretty trash.
Yeah, keep the ball at the other end.
Yeah, if you just give the ball to that front four, they're going to score your goals. But if you're going to defend and sit back and park your bus, you're not going to.
Sit 6 at the back, play it to Kane and play off potentially.
But that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've gone a 2-1 away win.
Dangerous. I've gone 2-2 because I don't want to pick it.
You can't pick
Spurs going forward are quality, aren't they?
Yeah.
Arsenal are so dangerous at just giving away some of the worst goals you've ever seen.
Well, when you've got the likes of Xhaka and David Luiz in the team.
That, by the way, that Xhaka goal at the weekend, big stat for you here. In the last, I think it's 3 or 4 seasons, he has made the most errors leading to goals in the past 4 to 8.
Doesn't surprise me.
What's he doing? No, what is he doing? But yeah, I've gone 2-2. Arsenal will probably be well in command and will give away one of the sloppiest goals you will ever see, and it'll just put them back, and they'll just be at square one again after making improvements or whatever.
And that's it.
They'll just let themselves down. Yeah. I would like to hear Arsenal's fans' thoughts on what it's like to go from being up there. Yeah, I would. Well, any Arsenal fan, I'd like to hear what they think about their club at the moment. Because from going from a very big club, they're still fairly big, obviously, but they're underperforming, aren't they?
Don't know
if they're lucky now. That's what I mean.
They're part of the traditional top 6, but if we're talking about top 6 nowadays, I think Leicester sneak into that.
I don't think they get anywhere near the top 6 today. It's close, but
this next game is going to be a big one because you've got probably, in my opinion, the most improved team since last season, West Ham. But you've got to remember they're without Jesse Lingard, no Lingardinho because he's on loan from Manchester United. I've gone though for a 2-2 draw.
2-2.
I think it's going to be 2-2. God. Yeah.
I've gone 2-1 United. I don't. Obviously, West Ham are good.
Oh yeah.
But again, that Declan Rice and Souček are quality, really good.
Souček's one of my signings of the season, been incredible. Him and Kufal, the right back, have been insane.
I think, that midfield too, by the way, got to be up there for the best partnership in the Premier, or one of at the moment. I think got to be. They are quality, but I think going forward again, we spoke about it last week. Man United going forward, they'll probably do a Mourinho and sit back and just like, oh yeah, West Ham, you can have the ball, but when we get it, we're going forward. We'll be in your half in a couple of seconds, and we'll be having a shot within 5. It's ridiculous going forward, isn't it? And I think that'll be that again.
Declan Rice came out and said he's never felt better playing football. I mean, it's a bit of a slap in the face to Mark Noble, but when he says he can now open up his play and show what he's really about because he's got the likes of Souček next to him, it really shows that he was maybe a bit held back the past couple of seasons where people are like, yeah, he's good, but is he good? And I think
do that for a club legend like Noble.
He's good.
You would do that for a club legend like Noble, surely.
Yeah.
Surely.
But, Declan Rice is quality. Chelsea boy as well. He needs to come back to the Blues. He needs to come back to us, youth product.
I think final he might go to a bigger team.
Is there any bigger? Final game of the game week though, Monday night football. Wolves at home to Liverpool. What are you saying, Harv?
Well, I mean, they made me look like an idiot last week, didn't they?
I mean, let's be honest.
It can't get any worse.
The thing is, they've lost 6 home games in a row, so maybe being away from home will actually do Liverpool a favour this time.
Yeah, probably going to end up winning like 5-1. I have gone 3-1 to Liverpool.
I've gone 3-1 myself, so that's that's the exact same. Just to prove that I ain't 3-1 Wolves Liverpool. There's me and you
just
writing it down.
Yeah. I'm
Liverpool.
Just writing your score down as well. Yeah,
I think they need to win.
This is going to come down. This next week's points are going to come down to whoever gets the right goals. I think
so.
By the looks of this, maybe the odd draw. That's looking pretty good. And I think we've got to move on to. I mean, it's personally one of my favourite segments. Is who would you rather? Okay. Would you like to go first, or do you want me to go first?
I can't remember who went first last time, but I don't mind going first this time. I've got two different who would you rather. I've got one this week and one next week, and I don't know which one to choose between. So what I'm going to do to you, I'm going to choose this one, and I'm going to read out both of these players' honours because they're so.
It's close.
Exact. They're basically the same player. So each of these boys have won a singular Ballon d'Or, which means they're world-class players.
Yeah.
Both of them have won a singular World Cup. Different nations as well. Different players.
Is one of your players Kaka?
We're there. So they've both won a Ballon d'Or.
Yeah.
Both won the World Cup. They've both won a singular Champions League as a player. One of them may have won it as a manager. So 3 times in a row. If you get me. Okay. Yeah. So one Ballon d'Or each, one World Cup each, one Champions League each. One of them's won the Euros for their national team, and the other one's won the Copa America for their national team. So the equivalent again. One of them, however, has won 2 Spanish league titles, while the other's only won 1. But the one that won 1 Spanish league title has won 2 Italian league titles, while the others only won 1. So they've both got 3 league titles in a top 5 division, both got 1 World Cup, 1 Ballon d'Or, 1 Champions League, and 1 Euros or Copa America, depending on their constituency.
Can I take a guess? Because I was listening to that, I was pretty convinced that you might have had Kaka in there. But is that one of them?
No.
Okay, I have written down Zidane.
Obviously, Zidane is one. Zinedine
and
Zidane.
Then I actually wrote down when you said something. I can't remember what you said, but it was like, it's not Kaka. It's not Ronaldinho, is it?
It's Ronaldinho. Ronaldinho and Zidane.
Okay. Oh, mate, that is
two of the greatest footballers of all time. You know.
Oh, I'm gonna get slated for this, but I'm picking Ronaldinho. And
yeah.
I know I've made that choice very quick. Ronaldinho is one of the only footballers that made me fall in love with football.
That's what
And
I think. That's what Ronaldinho has over Zidane in a lot of people's eyes, is the way he played.
Yeah, Zidane was quality. Like, he's just bang average. He was so immense. Zidane was immense.
It feels dirty not choosing Zidane, but I guess it would feel dirty not choosing Dino. But you said Ronaldinho.
I grew up in the time when I remembered football, and I would watch it week in, week out. And I was devastated when Thierry Henry didn't win the Ballon d'Or, because I loved him. He was my favourite player. I loved him. And it was Ronaldinho who pipped him to it.
Yeah.
And he came, and in my eyes, Henry got robbed, because that season he was absolutely unplayable. But Ronaldinho was, if you'd have put Messi in Zidane's place, I would pick Ronaldinho. That's how highly I love him.
Wow.
Wow. I think he's that. Messi's obviously one of the greatest ever, on par with Ronaldo. And again,
one of, or the?
No, that's a different discussion. I'm not going into that. But if you'd have given me Messi next to Ronaldinho, I still would have picked Ronaldinho.
Wow, incredible.
I think he's just like, I could watch him. If someone give me 24-hour highlights of Ronaldinho, and we're not just talking Barca, we're talking PSG,
AC Milan.
Wow.
All these teams.
Yeah, but everything he did just looked so smooth and silky. And I love the way he made people look so silly. We're talking world-class, top players. And in my eyes, when he played, that was the best era of football ever.
There were some incredible players. Those were two of them,
the top players around at that point, there's got to be the most amount of top players ever in a period. We're talking like Pirlo, Grenard, Gattuso, played in centre mid for AC Milan. Yeah, and there's one game I remember.
Luis Figo.
Yes, Vigo's. I mean, just at the back end of the Galacticos, really. But in my eyes, there's one game. There's a few games that stand out. He was that good. But one I remember in the Champions League, they went to Milan. They were in their yellow kit, and the ball's been played to him. He flicks it over Andre Pirlo, average. And then he winds up Gattuso, who would break your legs for fun, and then flicks it off, plays a 1-2, flicks it past one of them again, and then just lays the ball off like he's just done absolutely nothing, playing on a Saturday in the middle of the street with his mates. And those two that I mentioned, they won the World Cup with Italy, didn't they?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they did.
They weren't bad. And he's
2006.
made them... Wow. And he's made them look ridiculous.
I mean,
the only man to get a standing ovation from Real Madrid in their ground. Now, they hate each other. Everyone knows that they hate each other. If that does not tell you how good he is, and he tore in my opinion, he's one of the greatest ever centre-backs. He tore him a new one, Ramos.
Yeah.
Couldn't get near him. Casillas, one of the best goalkeepers in Italy, in Spain's history, probably one of the greatest goalkeepers ever. And we're talking that team was at the back end of the Galacticos, I think, and they could not touch him. They're flying in to try and break his legs. Absolutely amazing. Some of the goals they scored as well. Zidane's volley in the Champions League final was outstanding. The nuts on the guy to Panenka a penalty off the bar and then headbutt a guy in the same game was mental.
Obviously that headbutt.
Yeah.
If he was on the pitch for that penalty shootout against Italy, do you reckon they would have won the World Cup?
He makes a difference. Whether it would have been that big a difference, I don't know. I don't know if it would have even got to penalties. Maybe if he was on the pitch. And again, he was playing against the team that Ronaldinho made to look so average.
Exactly. Two of the greatest attacking players of all time.
I like Ronaldinho's style of play as well. People say Messi's the greatest. They see him as the greatest dribbler. But for me, and I would say that the Ronaldo R9 is very close behind Ronaldinho.
El Phenomenon.
Yeah, and then for me, it's Ronaldo back in the Prem days. That is a top 3 of entertainment in terms of dribbling in my eyes. There was tricks. They made people look silly.
If it wasn't for the likes of
JJ
JJ Okocha, we may not have seen Ronaldinho, because Ronaldinho talked super highly of his time he spent at PSG with JJ Okocha.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. I mean, JJ Okocha was a baller.
Fun fact though, I managed to catch a glimpse of Ronaldinho live alongside Messi when he was very young. There was Messi, Ronaldinho, Deco, Idiger Johnson, Thierry Henry. I saw all of these boys live in that prime Barcelona team. I went to the Nou Camp to watch a Chelsea match, and it was incredible.
I mean,
as much as I love to watch Lampard score from like the corner flag basically, and Drogba get an equaliser in the last minute to draw 2 with Barcelona away, not knowing how good Messi would be and become probably the greatest player of all time in my opinion. I absolutely love Messi, but watching Ronaldinho and them like then, it was incredible. But I myself, if I had to pick between the 2 players I've given, my dad's favourite player of all time is Zinedine Zidane, and I would probably struggle between the both of them, but I think I've got an affiliation to Zidane because I just loved watching him play as well. And
he was quality.
I think there's not a wrong answer. They're both world class.
No,
Ronaldinho, Zidane.
Ronaldinho's as well. If you get a chance, Ronaldinho's goals, tricks, and flicks all over.
I think
YouTube.
if you're looking at a player that's
Barca goal, his first Barca goal, by the way. I don't think he'd scored for a few games, and there's a fan footage video, and the ball gets thrown out to him. He's on the left. He takes a touch with the outside of his boot. He dribbles 30, 40 yards, skins a couple of players, step overs. He's feinted left, looked left, and he's gone right. Made players look really stupid.
Yeah.
And from about 30, 35 yards out, he smacked it into the top corner. And it's kind of like, he's going to be good.
I think one of the most aesthetically pleasing players you'll ever watch playing football. I mean, that goal that he scored against Chelsea in Petr Cech, where he's on the edge of the box and he's standing there. He's got like 3 defenders in front of him, and he just stands there and he just clips the ball. Yeah, the toe poke clip. Cech didn't even move, and Cech, like we've said, Messi never scored against Petr Cech in 10 attempts against Chelsea, but he did when he went to Arsenal. But Arsenal compared to Chelsea in them days,
that's harsh.
Are a bit different. But you're choosing Ronaldinho, and let's hear what you've got for me, Harv.
Right now, this is the careers are totally opposite. Is what I'm going to say here. One guy burst onto the scene of world football in '98. You might remember as he took a few players on, went past the Argentinian squad like they weren't even there, and buried one into the top corner.
Yeah.
It was.
I think I know who you're on about.
It was very good. The second youngest ever player to win a Ballon d'Or.
Yeah, I know who you're on about.
Only Ronaldo, Ronaldo.
Yeah, El Phenomenon.
Yeah, he's won 2 Golden Boots. He's won in the same season. He won the Player of the Season. He also won the PFA Young Player of the Season. That was in '97, '98. He's won the Best Young Player award at the World Cup in '98, and rightly so, because that goal sticks in my mind like nothing else. It was sensational. He's won an FA Cup. He's won 2 League Cups. He's won a Charity Shield and a UEFA Super Cup at his hometown
FA Cup's
club.
Not bad.
At his hometown club, he got lucky with
fierce only won one
rivals.
Premier League, right?
Yeah, he got lucky with their fierce rivals. He's won a Premier League.
Yeah,
he's won a League Cup and a Charity Shield. He's also part of the 100 goal club in the Prem, which is pretty impressive when he was doing it at the age he was doing it at. So that one, I'm presuming you can guess who that is.
That's Michael Owen. We all know that's Michael Owen, right?
Yeah. Some viewers or listeners that are probably not, or probably a bit younger than us, Mike.
Yeah.
Really probably didn't appreciate or don't appreciate.
I think
how
people
good
that
Michael
saw him
Owen
in
was.
his end career before, if you told people that saw him at his
After
Manchester
Madrid.
United and Newcastle days,
that
man single-handedly made us believe we could win a World Cup as well, because like he was incredible, and
it was sensational.
Obviously, what was it? Yeah, he joined Real Madrid, like you said, but at Liverpool,
Well,
he was just
that's not
incredible to watch.
I mean, I mean, you've just gone, join Real Madrid, but you think of the amount of players that have played that don't.
Oh no, that's all I mean. Yeah.
It's a big but to go from Liverpool and now go, we'll back him here. He'll come and be part of the Galacticos. That's got to make you feel good, hasn't it? But the next
player's got to be good for me to choose someone other than Michael Owen.
Well, you see, you're saying that. I think they're pretty similar. Like to play. They both got speed. Like to play on the shoulder of the defender. Both part of the 100-goal club. This guy is also a Premier League winner. Only one. He was the first player to score 20-plus goals in a season since Gary Lineker did it for this team in 84-85.
That gives it away, just the Gary Lineker thing. I was struggling to think who it was then.
It should do. He's also got the record for the most consecutive games scored with a goal in Prem, with 11. He's won a Premier League. He's won the Championship. Michael Owen never got that, just saying. He won Player of the Season. He won the Golden Boot. He also, now I was quite impressed with this because you wouldn't associate, this guy is associated with partying, Red Bull and a cheeky vodka, isn't he? He also came in the voting for the Ballon d'Or in 2016. He came 8th. Yeah.
Wow, that's incredible.
So people are saying he's the 8th best player in the world
in 2016.
I'm guessing
obviously, before you gave away that it was clearly Jamie Vardy, I had Fernando Torres in my mind, talking about that pace and getting in behind. You know what I mean? But then when you mentioned Premier League title, I was like, don't think Fernando. He won it with Chelsea, but like. Yeah, I was struggling, but then Fernando Torres was the only player I had in my mind before you mentioned the legend that is Gary Lineker stat.
Yeah,
but like you say, completely different careers. One was amazing at the start, and
opposite end. It's the opposite career. But I mean, we're talking obviously the prime of Owen's career. We didn't know it at the time, but it was obviously his first few years, and the prime of Vardy's has obviously been his last few years. Bearing that in mind, who would you pick?
The easy answer for this question is I take Michael Owen until he's 26, and then I swap to Jamie Vardy.
That sounds perfect.
You take Jamie Vardy, Michael Owen until he's 25, 26, and then you just as he's meant to be hitting his peak at 26 to 28, you dump him off because you know he's got in these injuries and he's going to be a bit trash, and you get in this guy from who's like in whatever league.
He's Fleetwood to Leicester.
Where was he playing in the Vanarama League or something like that?
Yeah. Stockley Bridge. I can't remember what it was.
Something like that. But he was working in a factory at the same time, wasn't he? And like you say, chatting shit.
Yeah.
I didn't swear. Chatting shit, getting banged.
Yes.
Drinking those WKD. I'm pretty sure I saw somewhere recently that he still smokes before a game. And still drinks 2 cans
his breakfast. Red Bull. His breakfast is 2 Red Bulls and is it a Macca's or it's something that a footballer shouldn't be doing.
It works,
but, mate. If you're going to bag 20 goals a season, win the golden boot
with a team like Leicester as well, who aren't a top 4 club.
Well, I mean, they might well be this year.
They might be, but
the
traditional top 4, top 6. Considering they won the league the season after, they should have been relegated. Really, it was a miracle that they didn't get relegated. But that's an extremely hard question because you look at it, and obviously, I think I'm going to have to choose Owen because I loved Owen. Like you with Ronaldinho, I'm not looking at it football-wise as much and stats-wise. I'm looking at it who I preferred as a footballer. And I think Vardy's criminally underrated. I think I'm actually gutted that he's retired from international football. I'd love Vardy to play for the England national team. I think we could win the Euros without him. But I think with him, he gives us something completely different to what Kane or Calvert-Lewin or any of the strikers that are currently coming.
We haven't got a player like that, have we?
No, we haven't.
I mean, Rashford's probably the closest, is he? And I wouldn't have said he's at that level as a striker.
He's more of a left-right winger, and he prefers playing on the wing. He's definitely better. But that Michael Owen era for England, I loved that. I remember watching
Owen
and
Heskey.
Yeah, Owen and Heskey battering Germans 5-1. But I've got that red England shirt. It's probably in the other room. I'll have to wear it sometime. I've got the red England shirt where we had the England flag on the shoulder.
Yes,
it's
on
like
the shoulder in gold.
Got Owen 10 on the back of that. So he's one of my favourite England players.
Yeah, that's understandable.
Small,
I
quick.
mean, just for people that didn't quite get it.
To Vardy.
No. But again, second youngest player to win a Ballon d'Or at the age of 22.
Only being beaten by
one of
Ronaldo.
The greatest. Yeah, I think that. I mean, that, like you said, you would take Owen when he was 16, 17, 18 till he was about 25 and swap. But yeah, I think Owen for me as well. I grew up watching Owen. That goal at the '98 World Cup was sensational, and the players that he went past as well. By the way, they some of them were quality.
They were.
But yeah, that'd probably be my pick if I had to pick one.
Owen, but
Vardy is so good. Some of the records that he does have. That consecutive goals with the game, he beat Ruud van Nistelrooy for that.
He beat Ruud. He actually beat Ruud van Nistelrooy by scoring against Manchester United.
Yes, he did
about that.
Yeah, but yeah, just that record as well, and to win Player of the Season, Golden Boot as well, for someone who he might as well have started his career at 26, had he? Because
similar to the likes of Ian Wright. Ian Wright came into the game quite late, and look at how good he done.
He was something else. He was pretty.
But I think those were two good choices from both of us. Dino or Zidane. Comment down below, guys. Drop us a message on Twitter. Again, same with the Premier League greatest team. Who would you pick out of Ronaldinho and Zidane or Vardy and Michael Owen? But we're going into the final part of the podcast now, where we're talking fun facts from the past, or what. Let's hear yours first this week, Half, because you gave us a solid one last week.
Do you know what? I kind of half forgot about my one last week, and I've gone along the hat-trick lines again. But now, going back to probably Owen's era, I think he played at the '98 World Cup if Paraguay got there. I think they did. But the goalkeeper, Jose Gilabert, which many of the older listeners and viewers will definitely have heard of, probably the greatest set-piece taker in a goalkeeper position that we've ever seen. He bagged a hat-trick in a 6-1 win against Vélez in their league, and I'm pretty sure he's one of the only keepers to ever bag a hat-trick, which is pretty impressive. I can't remember what the year was. I had that written down somewhere else.
We'll have to do some research, because I'm pretty sure there is a guy in the Brazilian league that is a goalkeeper. There's two goalkeepers that have only ever scored a hat-trick, and he is one of them. That's incredible.
But yeah, three penalties. I know the penalties, but still three.
Hey, Steven Gerrard couldn't manage it. Steven Gerrard got 2 out of 3 penalties one Premier League season in a game. I remember watching him. He scored 2, and for the hat-trick penalty, he missed it, or he got saved. So that was quite funny. I can't remember who that was against. That's another hat-trick.
I'll change it next week, honest.
Yeah. I've got absolutely bare facts written down, and I'm struggling to pick which one, but I'm going to go for one that is pretty interesting when you consider it, because it could shape the future of football. So, 2 of the greatest players of all time, the 2 best players in the world right now, Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi.
Yep.
The fact that I've got for you is Cristiano Ronaldo is in fact exactly 869 days older than Lionel Messi. And the fun fact that makes this interesting is both of their firstborns, Cristiano Ronaldo Jr. and Thiago Messi, are also separated by the exact same number of days, which is 869. Ooh. So does that mean we're going to see Cristiano Jr. versus Thiago Messi in 10 years' time? Because they're both 10 and 8 at the moment. But are we going to see?
There's some footage of Ronaldo's boy, isn't there?
Oh yeah, I think he's
Juventus. He looks quality.
Yeah, he looks solid.
He does look good, doesn't he?
Thiago Messi himself could be. He's only 869 days behind, obviously, but will we see them 2 after this Haaland and Mbappe era that's currently happening, after that, are we going to see Ronaldo and Messi return with their sons? And just to add on to that fact, one more thing. Obviously, both of them have several kids, but they also both have a child named Matteo. Like Kovacic, whether they're named after Matteo Kovacic, I doubt it. But
gotta be.
But if you're thinking that you've got Cristiano Jr. and Thiago Messi, could you imagine Matteo Ronaldo and Matteo Messi battling it out for the Ballon d'Or as well? I mean, all four of them kids could be playing at the same time, and that could be incredible.
I mean, you'd like to see one Ronaldo, one Messi on a team versus the other Ronaldo and Messi. I think that'd be quite interesting.
You know what? If you had Cristiano Jr. and Thiago Messi playing against Matteo Messi and Matteo Ronaldo, two for Barcelona, two for Real Madrid.
Yeah, that'd be
insane. Or both the Messis against both the Ronaldos. You know, you could let's make it happen. Times. Come on, Leo, Cristiano.
Yeah,
sort that out.
We don't care if it's not even professional. We'll take it in Sunday League just to see it happen.
We'll take it in Sunday League. We just want them. Do you know what? I'll make some calls. I'll get on the phone to Leo. You get on the phone to Cristiano, and we'll try and just say, look, can we borrow these 4 kids of yours for a couple of days and just film a couple of videos? That sounds wrong, but we'll film a couple of videos of them playing football with some other kids. We'll just chuck them with some other kids and see how it pans out.
That'll be
a great thumbnail for a YouTube video. You know, 2 Messis versus 2 Ronaldos. Who wins? Little do people know it's going to be the kids. But that's the end of the episode. That's the end of the episode number 2 of Talk of the Terrace. I think this has gone on a bit longer than we wanted it to, but we love talking football, and I'm hoping that the people love listening to football. But
hopefully we get some comments as well. We want to hear from the listeners and viewers, don't we? We want some.
Definitely.
I feel like there's going to be people that have said, "I can't believe they've not mentioned this" or whatever. We want to hear it, don't we? We want to hear that. We might have missed some ourselves, to be honest, but people have always got different views, and we want to hear them. So it'd be good to talk about.
Yeah, like we said, go check us out. We're on the YouTube channel Mike Ball Gaming, which is where I predominantly play FIFA, but that's currently where we got the video going on. And we've got a Twitter, which is either Terrace Talk. It's either at Terrace Talk, or it's Talk of the Terrace podcast. So check that out on Twitter. And when you go to YouTube, and Twitter, we'll have a link tree to all of the Spotify and the Apple Music or the Apple podcast, where you can listen to our podcast audio. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the episode. And
the Twitter, by the way, is at Terrace Talk Pod.
At Terrace Talk Pod. Fantastic. Thanks for checking.
So
Twitter's at Terrace Talk Pod. You know the YouTube, and hopefully we will see you all and catch you all in the next episode, where it's going to be, I already know it's going to be a good one. Have we got a main topic? Are we dropping We've got a main topic. Are we going to drop it? No, we'll save it.
Going with you, no, and I don't, so it's still a suspense for me at the moment.
Okay, right, we'll save that for you guys. Anyway, catch you all in the next one. Hope you enjoyed, and we'll speak to you later.
Cheers, guys.